What is going on, everyone? Tryhard Casual here, and today I have another episode of Quick Konar Slayer, the video series where I very quickly go over any random Konar task I might get. I'm just going to show you how I do the task, but at the end of it you'll have all the information you need to go about doing it on your own. On today's episode we have Abyssal Demons in the Slayer Tower, so let's go see what kind of gear we're going to need to bring on this one. So when you're fighting Abyssal Demons, they actually have an ability to both teleport themselves and teleport you around the room randomly, so it's not possible to safe spot them, so this is why we're going to be bringing melee. So my personal method for killing Abyssal Demons is just basically using max strength gear, so we'll talk about each item individually, just kind of working our way down. In the helmet slot, you really want like a Slayer helmet or a black mask if you have one. I will say later in the video, there are two different areas you can kill Abyssal Demons at. If you go to the top floor, you really want to have a Slayer mask because there's aberrant specters you need to walk by and they'll just like destroy your stats if you're not protected from them. Either that or having a nose peg on just for when you run by them. But I'll talk about that more later in the video. Other than that, we have a fire cape, use an obsidian cape if you don't have one yet. We have our amulet of torture, which is best in slot for neck strength. If you don't have that, a fury or a glory would be nice too. So for our weapon slot, we're going to have an abyssal whip. You could take arc light with you if you have it available. I just want to save charges on the weapon. If you don't care about that, take it instead. It's definitely better than an abyssal whip. In our chest slot, we have a Mando's chest piece. If not, a fighter torso is a nice alternative. You really want to have the best dragon defender for your offhand. I would say if you don't have task sets for your leg slot, then just taking dragon plate legs will work fine. I would say if you don't have Barrow's gloves, then a combat bracelet is a nice alternative. For the boot slot, we do have primordial boots, but if you have dragon boots, it's fine. It's only one less strength bonus. And a berserker's ring for the ring slot. I mean, if you don't have a berserker's ring, I guess a warrior's ring, but at that point I'd rather just bring a ring of wealth to collect a little bit of extra money. So that basically goes over the gear, so we can talk about inventory now. We have our spec weapon, being the Saradomin God Sword. That's going to help us a lot, keeping our prayer up, keeping our health up. I will say we're not camping prayer or anything like that, but I'll be using preserve, and just, being able to spec with the Saradomin God Sword every now and then is enough to keep my prayer up for just using preserve. So if you don't have a God Sword with you and you want to use preserve or just something that slowly drains your prayer, one prayer potion should be more than enough. Having a dragon dagger is always a nice alternative to any spec weapon, essentially. We're going to bring Guthans with us to help heal us up. That's basically going to be the bulk of our healing for this assignment. On top of that, we'll have some sharks just for emergency situations. We're going to have our super attack, strength, defense potions. A Drayman staff is going to help us get there. We're going to have an herb sack and a gem bag for the herbs and gems that drop. We have alchemical runes in a rune pouch. And we have our teleport out just for some house teleports. I would say something else you could bring is the soul bearer, just because Abyssal Demons do drop in souled heads, and it'll help, manage your inventory if you don't have as much space. I'd say luckily getting to the Slayer Tower isn't too difficult. The easiest way is to just have a Slayer ring and teleport you outside the entrance. Other than that, we're just going to be using the Fairy ring right here, and even if you have like a Canifis teleport or a Kirill teleport in your house, then dropping off a Canifis isn't too far from the tower. When you find yourself actually at the Slayer Tower, you have two different options and places you can slay Abyssal Demons. See, the easiest place is just to go left right when you enter and go down into the basement. Once you're in the basement, all you need to do is go to the Abyssal Demons in the top right of the map. The other spot requires you to have at least 61 agility, so what you would do is enter the Slayer Tower, you'd run around to this chain that's hanging down from the ceiling, and take it up to the second floor, which would take you right about here. This is going to be where you want a nose peg or a Slayer helmet so you don't take any stat reductions when you run by all of the aberrant specters. You'll take this staircase up, and once you go up the staircase, you'll just find Abyssal Demons on the north end of the tower. Like I said, going to the basement is obviously the easier option here. It is worth noting you need to be on a Slayer task if you want to hit any of the monsters that are in the basement, but that's not much of a problem since we're on a Slayer task. Alright, so we finally made it down into the basement by the Abyssal Demons. There are two final things I wanted to mention really quick. First off, you should probably have your auto retaliate on because you'll stop attacking the demons once they start teleporting you around. It just, lets you AFK a little bit more if you have auto retaliate on. And secondly, if we do get a superior foe to spawn, they do hit quite consistently, so you definitely want to put on protect from melee if an Abyssal Demon superior spawns. So without any further delay, we can start this task and kill over 200 of these bad boys and probably not get a whip. Alright, we find ourselves just under 2 hours on this one, so let's see how much money we made. Almost 400k. It's not great considering it took 2 hours. Usually your profit with Abyssal Demons is really tied to if you get a whip drop or not, so I'm not surprised honestly with how much we made. Although we did get another 60k from opening up the chest with the 1 key we got, and on top of that we got a hard glue scroll. So that takes us to the end of another video. Now if you have any questions about Slayer, or RuneScape in general, feel free to ask me. I know I've only really been working on Konar Slayer videos so far, but I do have something big in the works, maybe in the next 2 weeks or so. Stick around for that. But I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next one.